welcome to Math Advice. In this video, let me discuss iterative method or indirect method for solving a system of linear equations. And a system of linear equation, we have two methods, that is direct method or indirect method to find the solution of given system of equations. And a direct method, we have Gauss elimination and Gauss-Jordan methods are available, and Gauss-Jordan method are available to find the solution of given system of equations under direct method. So under indirect method or iterative method, we have Gauss-Jacobi method and Gauss-Seidel method and SOR, that is successive over relaxation method, are available to find the solution under indirect method. If the number of equations are very small in numbers, we make use of the direct method to find the solution either by using Gauss elimination or Gauss-Jordan method. If the system of given equations are very large in numbers, that is if it is greater than 25, we make use of the indirect method or iterative method to find the solution of given system. Since in that case, the calculation part becomes very tedious if the number of that is a system of linear equations are very large in numbers, then the calculation part in direct method is very tedious one. So in such cases, we move on to indirect method to find the solution of the given system of equations. So now in this video, let me see how to calculate the given solution for given system of equations using Gauss-Jacobi method. So before we move on to an example, let me have a short look over what is diagonally dominant property of given system of equations. So a system of equations, that is, here I have to take 3 equation in 3 variables, that is a1x plus b1i plus c1z is equal to t1, a2x plus b2y plus c2z is equal to t2, and a3x plus b3y plus c3z is equal to d3. So if this system is diagonally dominant, if it satisfies these conditions, then we say the given system of equation is diagonally dominant. So we can use the procedure of Gauss-Jacobi method to find the solution after checking this diagonally dominant property. So that is absolute a1 is greater than or equal to absolute value of b1 plus absolute value of c1, and absolute value of b2 is greater than or equal to absolute value of a2 plus absolute value of c2, and absolute value of c3 is greater than or equal to absolute value of a3 plus absolute value of b3, which means the principal diagonal element, that is absolute values of these principal diagonal elements, is greater or equal to the sum of the absolute values of the remaining 2 elements in this row. That is the meaning of diagonally dominant property, that is the coefficient of x, y, z are large in numbers compared with the other elements in that row. If so, we have to write it for x, y, z and solve the equations to get the solution of the given system of equations. So with this short intro, let me now move on to an example. Solve the following equation using Gauss-Jacobi iteration method. Here there are 3 equations are given with 3 variables x, y, z. So before we move on to solving in terms of x, y, z, let me first check whether the given system of equations satisfies the diagonally dominant property or not. For that, our first condition, that is, look at the diagonal elements 30, 17 and 9. So 30, absolute value of 30 is 30, b1 is minus 2. So the absolute value of minus 2 is plus 2 and plus c1 value is plus 3. You have to take the values along with the sign. If it is plus, no problem. If it is minus, make it is positive, because we take only absolute values. So plus 3 is 3 itself. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Definitely 30 is greater than 5. Next, absolute value of b2. So already here we have 17. So 17, a2 is nothing but here x, the coefficient of x is 1, that is understood. So 1 plus c2 value is c2 here is minus 2. So minus 2, absolute value of minus 2 is plus 2 itself. So 17 is strictly greater than 3. So it satisfies the second condition. Let's move on to the third, the C3 value. C3 is 9. Absolute C3 is 9 itself. So A3 value is the coefficient of x and y here is 1 itself. So absolute values of these two is nothing but 1 plus 1. So 9 is strictly greater than 2. So it satisfies the diagonally dominant property. So since the given system of equations satisfies the diagonally dominant property, so we have to write the given equations in terms of x, y and z. So from the first equation we have to write x, and from the second equation we have to write it for y, and from the third equation we have to write it for z. From the first equation we have 70, x is equal to 75. So take this to other side, you have plus 2y minus 3z, and the coefficient of x is 30. So over 30. So this is for the x, and y is 48. Then take these two terms to other side, minus x plus 2z over the coefficient of y is 17, so over 17, and z value is, take these two terms to other side, so 15 minus x minus y over the coefficient of z is 9, so take this to other side, you have over 9. So this is what the equations x, y in terms of x, y, z. So solving these you get the solution of the given system of equations. So let me start with the initial values, x equal to 0 and y is equal to 0 and z equal to 0. Now in the first iteration, our first approximation, so we take the values of x, y and z, of all of them are 0, and 75 plus 2y, 0 minus 3z is 0, and you divide this by 30, you get the value of x is 2.5. Next, for y, 48 minus x value 0 plus, when you multiply 0 with 2, 0 itself, and you divide this by 17, you get the value of y is 2.8235. And for the value of z, 15 minus x value 0, y value 0, and you divide this by 9, you get the value 1.6667. Let me tabulate all these values in a table like this. So in the first iteration, I get the value of x as 2.5, y as 2.8235, and z as 1.6667. Next I will show you how I am going to do this calculation part using the calculator. Now let me start with the first value, 75 over 30. So 75 over, that is divided by 30, so you get 2.5. Next for the y value, 48 divided by 17, so you get 2.8235, etc. Here we have to take up to 4 decimal places, so 2.8235. Next for z value, 15, divide this by 9, you get 1.666, etc. Here itself we have to take up to 4 decimal places, so 1.666, so 7. So in the fifth decimal we have 6 itself, so we have to add 1 with the previous, so 1.667. So this is how we have to calculate this using the calculator. Now let's move on to the second iteration. So in the second iteration, we make use of the first iteration values of x, y and z, and calculate the values of x, y and z. So now in the second iteration, x is equal to 75 plus, within parenthesis, 2 product y value is 2.8235 minus, within parenthesis, this 3 product z value is 1.667 over 30. And by simplifying this, you get 2.5216. So in the second iteration, you have 2.5216, and for the value of y, 48 minus x value is 2.5 plus 2 product z value is 1.667. So whenever there is a product, you have to write this within the parenthesis like this. So in the same way, you have to use this in the calculator for calculating these values. Okay. So parenthesis must over 17. So by simplifying this, you get the value of y is 2.8726. Next, for the value of z, 15 minus x value is 2.5 minus y value is 2.8235 over 9. So simplifying this, you get the value of z is 1.0752. So the value of x in the second iteration is 2.5216 and y value is 2.8726 and z value is 1.0752. Let me show you how to calculate these values using the calculator. So now let me start with the first x value, that is 75, plus within parenthesis you make a product of 2.8235 close the parenthesis minus within the parenthesis you make a product of 3 product 1.667 close the parenthesis, which equals 75.6469, and you divide this by 30, you get 2.5215 etc. So here we have to take up to 4 decimal places. So in the 5th decimal place we have 6, so we have add 1 with the previous decimal, so 2.5216. So this is the x value. Next for y, 48 minus 2.5 plus within parenthesis you have 2 product 1.667 close the parenthesis, which equals 48.8334, and you divide this by 17, you get 2.87255 etc. Here itself we have to take up to 4 decimal places, so you have to add the 5th decimal, we have 5, so you have to add 1 with the previous decimal, so 2.8726. Next for z, 15 minus 2.5 minus 2.8235, which equals 9.6765, and you divide this by 9, you get 1.075166 etc. So here itself we have to take up to 4 decimal places. The 5th decimal you have 6, so you have to add 1 with the previous decimal, so 1.0752. So now after calculating the values of x, y, z in the second iteration, compare these values with the x, y, z values of the previous iteration value. Here the values of x, y, z doesn't coincide with each other. So in such cases we move on to the next iteration. So we move on to the third approximation or third iteration. In the third iteration we make use of the second iteration value to calculate the values of x, y, z. So now we calculate the value of x first. So x equal to 75 plus 2 product y value is 2.8726 minus 3 product z value is 1.0752 over 30, and simplifying this you get the value of x as 2.5840, and next we calculate the value of y, which is equal to 48 minus x value is 2.5216 plus 2 product z value is 1.0752 over, this parenthesis is not necessary, so 17, and simplifying this you get 2.8017. Next we calculate the value of z, 15 minus x value is 2.5216 minus z value is y value is 2.8726 over 9. Simplifying this you get the value of z is 1.0673. So in the third iteration we get the value of x as 2.5840 and y value is 2.8017 and z value is 1.0673. Compare this value with the previous iteration value of x, y, z doesn't coincide. The values of x, y, z doesn't coincide up to 4 decimal places. So up to 1 decimal places it coincides, that is 2.5, 2.8, 1.0, but we need for these values of x, y, z correct to 4 decimal places. So we move on to the next iteration. So now let me show you how to calculate these values of x, y, z using the calculator. Now let me start with the value of x, that is 75 plus within parenthesis 2 product 2.8726 close the parenthesis minus within parenthesis you have 3 product 1.0752 close the parenthesis, which is equal 77.5196, and you divide this by 30. So you get 2.5839866. So you have 2.58. So in the fifth decimal we have 8. So add 1 with the previous decimal, 39 becomes here 40. So 2.5840. Next for y, 48 minus 2.5216 plus within parenthesis you make the product 2 product 1.0752 close the parenthesis, which equals 47.6288. So when you divide this by 17 you get the value 2.80169. So we have to take up to 4 decimal places. So in the fifth decimal you have 9. So we have add 1 with the previous decimal. So 2.8017. Next for z, 15 minus 2.5216 minus 2.8726, which equals 9.6058, and you divide this by 9, 1.067311. So in the fifth decimal you have 1 itself, so you have to take up to 4 decimal as it is. So 1.0673. So this is what how you have to calculate these values using the calculator. Okay. Now since the values of second and third iteration values doesn't coincide with each other up to 4 decimal places, so we move on to the next iteration, that is the fourth iteration. In the fourth iteration, we make use of the third iteration values of x, y and z, that is the previous iteration value. So let me first calculate the value of x. In the fourth iteration, 75 plus 2 product within parenthesis y value 2.8017 minus within parenthesis you take the product of the 3 product 1. Z value 1.0673 over 30, and you simplifying this you get the value of x as 2.5801, and next we calculate the value of y, 48 minus x values 2.5840 plus within parenthesis you make the product 2 product of z value 1.0673 and over 17. Simplifying this you get the value of y as 2.7971, and we calculate the value of z, 15 minus x 2.5840 minus y value 2.8017 over 9, and you simplifying this you get 1.0683. So in the fourth iteration you get the value of x as 2.5801 and value of y is 2.7971 and z is 1.0683. So here itself you have to compare this current iteration value with the previous iteration values of x, y, z. So here x, y, z is not coincide with up to 4 decimal places, doesn't coincide, isn't it? So if you move on to the next iteration. So before that let me show you how to calculate these values of x, y, z using the calculator. Now let me start with the value of x, 75 plus within parenthesis 2 product 2.8017 close the parenthesis minus within parenthesis you have 3 product 1.0673 close the parenthesis and which equals and divide this by 30 and divide this value by 30 you have 2.58005. Here we have to take up to 4 decimal places. So 2.5800 in the fifth decimal we have 5, so add 1 with the previous decimal, so 2.5801. Next we calculate the value of y in the same way. So 48 minus 2.5840 plus within parenthesis you make the product 2 product 1.0673 close the parenthesis which equals 47.5506 and you divide this by 17 you get 2.79709 etc. So here we have to take up to 4 decimal places, so 2.7970 in the fifth decimal we have 9, so add 1 with the previous decimal, so 2.7971. This is the value of y. Next we calculate for z, that is 15 minus 2.5840 minus 2.8017 which equals 9.6143 and you divide this by 9 you get 1.068255 etc. So we have to take up to 4 decimal places as usual, so 1.0682, so in the fifth decimal you have 5, so add 1 with the previous decimal, so 1.0683. Now you can understand how to calculate these values using the calculator. So up to this I stop using calculator and show you how to calculate. So proceed in the same way, you get the solution. Let me now move on to our next situation. So that is in the fifth approximation we make use of the fourth approximation values of x, y, z. So x is equal to 75 plus within parenthesis 2 product y values 2.7971 minus 3z, that is within parenthesis you make the product 3 product z value 1.0683 and you divide this by 30. If you divide this by 30 you get the value of x is 2.5796 and let me move on to calculating value of y. 48 minus x value is 2.5801 plus 2 product z value is 1.0683 over 17 and you simplifying this you get the value of y as 2.7974 and calculating the value of z, that is 15 minus x, that is 2.5801 minus y value is 2.7971 over 9. Simplifying this you get the value of z is 1.0692. So in the fifth iteration we get the value of x as 2.5796 and y value is 2.7974 and z value is 1.0692. Compare these values, that is the value of x, y, z whether is coincide with the previous iteration value up to 4 decimal places. So here the values of x, y, z doesn't coincide with the values of x, y in the previous iteration up to 4 decimal places. Now let me move on to the next iteration to calculate the values of x, y and z. In the sixth iteration we make use of the fifth iteration values of x, y, z to calculate the values of x, y and z. So now x is equal to 75 plus 2 product y value is 2.7974 minus 3 product z value is 1.0692 over 30. And simplifying this you get the value of x is 2.5796. Next we calculate the value of y. 48 minus x value is 2.5796 plus within parenthesis you make the product 2 product z value is 1.0692 2.0692 and you divide this by 17, you get the value of y as 2.7976 and for calculating the value of z, 15 minus x value is 2.5796 minus y value is 2.7974 and divide this by 9 and simplifying this you get the value of z is 1.0692. So in the sixth iteration you get the value of x as 2.5796 and y is equal to 2.7976 and z is equal to 1.0692. So compare these values with the previous iteration and check whether if it coincides with the values of x, y, z up to 4 decimal places or not. So here you have 2.5796, here itself you have 2.5696, so the x value coincides. Look at the value of y, 2.7974 in the fifth iteration, whereas in the sixth iteration you have 2.7976. So it coincides up to 2 decimal places. So does it coincide up to 4 decimal places? So we move on to the next iteration, that is seventh iteration. Here itself the values of z coincide up to 4 decimal places as it is. So y value alone doesn't coincide with 4 decimal places. So we move on to the next iteration to calculate the values of x, y, z. For that we make use of the sixth iteration value to calculate the values of x, y, z in the second iteration. So now calculating the value of x 75 plus 2 product y value is 2.7976 minus 3 product z value is 1.0692 over 30. Simplifying this you get the value of x is 2.5796 and y is equal to 48 minus x value is 2.5796 plus 2 product z value is 1.0692 and you divide this by 70 and simplifying this you get 2.7976 and for calculating the value of z 15 minus x is 2.5796 minus y value is 2.7976 and divide this by 9. Simplifying this you get 1.0692. So in the seventh iteration we get the value of x is 2.5796 and y value is 2.7976 and z value is 1.0692. So compare whether the values of x, y, z in the seventh iteration coincide with the sixth iteration values of x, y, z. So it has to coincide up to 4 decimal places as it is. So we have to stop the procedure up to this. So for the given system of equation, we get the solution as x is equal to 2.5796, y is equal to 2.7976 and z is equal to 1.0692. So this values of x, y, z is correct up to 4 decimal places. We have to take up to 4 decimal places. Sometimes you have to take up to 3 decimal places. If it is 3 decimal places, you have to stop up to 3 decimal places. Here I have to take up to 4 decimal places. So the values of x, y, z correct to 4 decimal places. X is equal to 2.5796 and y is equal to 2.7976 and z is equal to 1.0692. So after calculating the values of x, y and z, so you have to substitute these values in either of the equation. It is either in the first equation or second equation or in the third equation. You have to check whether the given values of x, y, z is correct or not. So for that you have to verify your answer by yourself. So for that you have to substitute these values in either one of the given equation. Either in the first equation you have to substitute or in the second equation or in the third equation too you have to substitute and verify whether it is equal to, that is the left hand side values is equal to the right hand side values 75, 48 and 15. So these values doesn't give you an exact answer always, but you get the approximate values, that is nearby values. So let me show you how to verify your answer by yourself. So let me first substitute these values in the first equation. So 30. So let me show you how to substitute these values and verify your answer by yourself. 30 product x value is 2.5796 which equals 77.388 minus within parenthesis 2 product y value is 2.7976 close the parenthesis plus within parenthesis 3 product z value is 1.0692 close the parenthesis which equals 75.0004. So here if you have 75, so we get only the approximation, not the exact result, because this value is correct up to 4 decimal places alone. This is how we have to verify your answer is correct up to 4 decimal places. Suppose if you substitute in the second equation 2.5796 plus 17y. So within product 17 product y value is 2.7976 close the parenthesis minus 2 product z value is 1.0692 close the parenthesis which equals 48.004. So here you have on the right hand side you have 48. So you have to take up to 4 decimal places. So your answer coincides with this, isn't it? So suppose if you choose the third equation to verify your answer, let me show this to you now. X plus x is 2.5796 sorry 2.5796 plus y value is 2.7976 plus 9 product z value is 1.0692 close the parenthesis which equals 15. So which exactly equal to the right hand side value 15. So this is how you have to verify your answer by yourself after calculating the values of x, y, z. So you have to substitute in either one of these equation and verify whether your calculated value is correct up to 4 decimal places or 3 decimal places as you have calculated. Now let's now move on to another problem and see how to calculate the solution for the given system if the given system of equation doesn't satisfy the diagonally dominant property. So these are the given system. There are 3 equations along with 3 variables are given. Let's first check whether the given system satisfies the diagonally dominant property or not. So for that these are the principal diagonal elements and absolute A1 is 27, B1 is 6, C1 is C1 is minus 1. If you take the absolute value, you get plus 1. So 27 is strictly greater than 7. So let me move on to the second condition. B2 is 1. That is a coefficient of y here 1. And A2 is 1 itself. 1 plus C2 is 54. So it doesn't greater than 55. So second condition is not satisfied. Look at the third condition. So C3 is 2 and A3 and B3 are 6 and 15. This is also not greater than. So the second and third condition is not satisfied. So now we have to rearrange the given equation such that the given system satisfies the diagonally dominant property. So for that you just keep the first equation as it is. Since it satisfies the diagonally dominant property, 27x plus 6y minus z is equal to 85. And we have to rearrange, that is interchange the equations, second and third equations. So I have to write down the third equation now in the second position, that is 6x plus 15y plus 2z is equal to 72, and write down the second equation in third position, that is x plus y plus 54z is equal to 110. Now look at the diagonal elements. And let us verify now whether it satisfies the diagonally dominant property or not. So already first equation, we don't need to check it because we have to keep the first equation as it is. Let's now move on to the second equation, that is 15. Here 6 plus 2, definitely 15 is greater than 8. So look at the third equation, 54 is greater than 1 plus 1. So it satisfies, after rearranging the given system of equations, it satisfies the diagonally dominant property. Then we have to write it for x, y, z in the first, second and third equation, and as usual we have to solve the given system of equations using Jacobi's iteration method. So after rearranging the given equation, that is interchanging the second and third equation, the system becomes diagonally dominant, and then from this we have to write the values of x from the first equation, y from the second equation and z from the third equation. So, and we start with, as usual, we start with the initial approximation of x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0 and z equal to 0. Proceeding in the same way as we do in the previous problem, we get the solution. The solution is x equal to 2.426 and y is equal to 3.573 and z is equal to 1.926. I left the remaining part for your practice, since the remaining procedure is similar as we do in case of the previous problem. So only the difference is that if the given system is not diagonally dominant, then how we have to rearrange the given system of equation to become that is a diagonally dominant. So the only difference is we have to rearrange the given system of equations such that it satisfies the diagonally dominant property. That is the only difference between the previous problem and this problem. The remaining procedure is same as we do in case of previous problem. Suppose one more case I am going to mention here. If the given system of equations is not given like this, if we have the system of equation like this, the same problem has to be asked like this too. So x plus y, that is the second equation in the first position, first equation is the second position, and there is no change in the third equation. Suppose if the given problem is given like this, how we are going to rearrange? Because none of the equations satisfies the diagonally dominant property, so you have to rearrange the given system of equations. So for that you have to rearrange the given system of equations. So this is your first equation because x coefficient is large in numbers, and your second equation is this is your second equation and this is your third equation. So if you rearrange the equation like this, you get this system of equation in this form, and from this you have to write the values of x, y and z, then you get the same solution. So now you got a clear idea about the given system of equation is not diagonally dominant, then how to rearrange the equation such that it becomes diagonally dominant 1. With this, hope you got a clear idea about how to find the solution of a given system of equations using Gauss-Jacobi's iteration method. Thanks for watching. See you again in my next video.